What's up, everyone? Chase Owens here, Bullet Club member, and you are watching the IHJW Wrestling Podcast with Nelson, Craig, and Keish. And I promise you, it's going to be just too sweet.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of IHJW Wrestling Podcasting. This is Keish here, reviewing June 1st and June 2nd of Road to Dominion. You have Yua Uemura, Sho and Yo versus Desperado and Suzuki and Kanemaru as the first match. And this was a pretty standard match with a young lion and Sho and Yo and Will. And the focus of this match was, of course, that Yo is going to face Desperado for his junior heavyweight championship or super junior heavyweight championship. But they had some cool spots during this match. You have Suzuki do a knee bar on the show on the bottom rope, leaning outside. It looked nasty. Yo and Desperado, they're kind of ring rusty because I know in reports, I believe both these men were out of due to COVID, so they've not been in the ring for, I believe, near a month, if anything. So there's a little rusty, but they're trying to get it. They had a cool little preview for the match coming on the 7th, and a strong showing with a young lion of Yuya. Unfortunately, Desperado is able to push Yuya into the ref, hit him with a closed right hand, and hit him with a Pinche Loco for the win, which is, if you guys don't know, it's the Fallen Angel. It looks like a falling angel. But yeah, this is really leading up for Sho and Desperado, and so Yo and Desperado for that Super Junior Heavyweight Championship. Now you have Bullet Club versus basically Taguchi Japan. You have LIP, which he's been doing well and great in TNA. Taiji Ishimori, Evil, and Chase Owens are one and only versus Tiger Mask, Tanahashi, Hanma, and Taguchi. Funny thing is, they gave Chase Owens gun sound effects to his entrance now. So it seems like their production live events is pretty cool because Chase Owens is like, hold on, whoa, when he does his gun effect. It's pretty funny. They did do a pose off. It was weird. Of course, if you guys don't know, Bullet Club does the two sweep, but they go on near the ground and lift the two sweep upside down. Then, of course, Taguchi and his crew pose for the cameras. And if you're watching the YouTube version, you'll see the picture. Bullet Club does a bunch of back rakes to... actually, before that, all of Taguchi Japan does hip attacks. It was weird seeing Tanahashi, Tiger Mask, and Hama do hip attacks, but you follow what Coach Taguchi does. And that led into, of course, the Tumbercle train, where everyone keeps running at one person. Then Bullet Club does the same thing, but instead of using the train and doing body splashes and back elbows, they back rake. They back rake. I believe it was Hanma. The back rake Hanma, and Dick Togo, who's there because of Evil's there, joined in the action, and the referee didn't see. I think the referee did see, but he didn't know what to do. There was just a lot of action, all 8-9 men in the ring. Taguchi had a hot tag that literally he attacked everyone. Unfortunately, he didn't hip attack Dick Togo. That was a really missed moment. And one of the high spots is Tiger Mask doing a tiger suplex to Taiji Ishimori from the top rope. It looked insane because Tiger Mask is a very elder man. And wow, it was dope. It's cool to see Taiji Ishimori taking bumps like that and being willing to do it, for an older statesman, I would say. LIP and Taiji Ishimori, of course, hit their double team, which is an inverted fireman's carry into a kick to the face, releasing airplane spin. So basically, it's like the Cesaro spin, but he's doing it on his shoulders, and Taiji Ishimori starts the spin by kicking the Tiger Mask in his face, then into the Bloody Cross, and of course Bullet Club wins. A lot of weird stuff happened there, but it's standard for these multi-man tag matches. It's about telling a story, and I don't know what's happening. I think they just wanted more people here. There was no true thing to talk about in these. Maybe get Taiji versus Tanahashi, which would be great, but nothing noticeable coming up. They did talk about a lot about LIP getting a Super Junior Heavyweight Championship and Taiji Ishimori and LIP getting another shot at those tag team championships. But for now, that was just a match for the fans. We have Bushi and Yota Tsuji versus Cobb and the Great Okan. And Yoda had a really good showing. They're giving Young Lions a lot of work. I think it's because they can't go on excursion. And I know most of these two Young Lions, of course, Yura and Yota, didn't, I don't believe, got to go an excursion because of the pandemic. So they're going to give them a lot of work, and they do really good. The great thing is Cobb and Ibushi started, and it started fast. It was just Ibushi speed and striking, and then Cobb just throwing him around. It's pretty good. There was a point where Cobb teases the Kamagoye, which he hit Ibushi with, and it was just, man, it looked disrespectful. It looked like it actually hurt Ibushi. But Cobb, like everything he does with a squat. He does a gun wrench with a squat and just throws Yota around. He does a beautiful vertical suplex with the squat. And the cool thing is, he goes straight up and drops. So it looks like he jumps in the air and then finishes the suplex. It's nasty. Yota has some solid body tackles, and he has a thing where he bounces off the rope. Like, he hits the rope and like seems like he jumps off the rope and does either a body splash, a senton, or a spear. And it's dope. Like, Yota is gonna be really good. He's a solid wrestler. I wonder what character they'll give him. But in the end, the Great Okan does the eliminator for the win after counting a Yota sunset flip. It was, man. I can't get enough of Great Okan. I really wish they did more with him, but let's see what they do with him now with Osprey, unfortunately, on the shelf. And we have Naito, Shingo, Sonata, and Bushi, LIJ, basically all of LIJ, versus Ishii, Goto, Yoshihashi, and Okada. So basically, these are champions and challengers facing each other. Of course, Naito, Sonata, Bushi are going after Yoshihashi, Ishii, and Goto for the six-man Never Openweight Championship. And of course, on June the 7th, we have Shingo versus Okada for that new World Heavyweight Championship for New Japan. The champions forced Lij out of the out of the ring before the match because they got in first, and Okada came out last for chaos. Shingo Okada start, but they allowed Lij to basically play super heel. Like, Naito is super disrespectful to everybody, and most of the run-ins from were caused by Lij, and it's amazing. Their title match, which when we get there, we'll get there, is really good because Lij has a good sense of really ring awareness and doing really good spots very smoothly, then disappearing for the pin. It's pretty dope. When we get to that, we get to that. Ishii actually took a bunch of elbows from Naito after you trapped it in the corner. So Ishii would literally got Naito in the corner, held the ropes, and just stood there and looked at him. And Naito just gave him a bunch of elbows, and he didn't do anything to Ishii. And Ishii just hit him with one, and he drops. It's amazing. It's very Suzuki, but it's awesome seeing Ishii and Naito go at it because Ishii just doesn't like any of Naito's games, basically. Shingo and Okada preview is really good. There's very little ring rust for Okada for being gone for 30 days, and Shingo has been wrestling since the pandemic. He's been in every event so far. So this is going to be, they're previewing this match, and it's going to be a really, really good match. The end of the match, of course, we had a Russian sweep blockbuster combo pinning combination to on that's weird. That should be on Sonata after a scramble with all the men in the ring. And then go and the after scramble in the ring and Goto goes for the dashiki, which is like cradle pin. He very rarely use it. This is one of his go-to moves back when I believe Black 10, like I think 5 to 6, 7 years ago. He used every. That's how he used to pin. How he got used to get pins. But the Russian leg sweep blockbuster, it doesn't look pretty with Goto and Yoshihashi doing it, but it looks pretty cool. At least I kind of get it. It's dope looking if they hit it properly. It just looks like Yoshihashi like flips. There's a front flip next to Sonata, and everybody falls down. It's like, what? They never really open air champs at the end stare down their challengers, and of course Okada messes with Shingo. So Okada was standing on top on the ring, and Shingo's like, "Come down here and look. Come down." He's trying to call him to get a stare down, and Shingo goes up, and Okada goes down. And I think it's like, you know what? You're not on my level yet, and that's how I saw it. And it's pretty interesting. Of course, we got the main events. We have the Techers of Suzuki-gun, of Taichi, and Zack Sabre Jr. versus God, Tamatanga, and Tanga Loa. On paper, and as they would say, the Techers have never beaten God, and God has been undefeated so far this calendar year, ever since coming back for the tag team tournament, and it's pretty big. That's pretty exciting. I didn't know the Techers never won against them, and they beat them in singles matches, but never in a tag team. Miho Abe came back tonight for this night, only this night. It was great to see her and what she does, because there's a lot of drama. Doki and of course Jado were at the ringside, but they were not. They were sent away after introductions. The Red Shoe said, "Nah, we're not having any of this." And of course, Miho got to stay because she doesn't get involved in the match. It starts a little bit slow, but Taichi gains advantage fairly quickly on God. I believe it was Tongaloa. And the funny thing is, God uses Miho as a hostage, and that's how they jump Zack Sabre Jr. So Tongaloa jumps Zack Sabre Jr. and then Tongaloa jumps Taichi. And basically, almost from there, God had was in control of the whole match. It was intense because it looked like Miho was actually crying, and they would taunt Miho as they beat down Taichi in front of her. It's super dramatic. It's awesome. So this whole match was basically working Taguchi because he's been off for a whole month, and of course, if you didn't know, he was one of the few who reported who contracted COVID. So they made sure when Zack was in, Zack was like basically taking out Tamatanga Tangaloa with submissions and everything. Then when Zack Sabre Jr. would get knocked down, he would get attacked with Taichi, and they would just work Taichi. Basically headlocks, body blows, and just work his body, hands down. And Zack Sabre Jr. was able to put Tamatanga in a submission, and it was like one of those octopus submissions. Like there was no way he could have got out. His arms were trapped and his legs were trapped. Unfortunately, Jado came out and was able to prevent. Jado came out and tried to distract the ref, and Gato came and basically punched Zack Sabre Jr. in the back of the head to release the submission. Fortunately, right after that, Doki came out and was able to take out both Gato and Jado and send them back. Tamatanga Tamatanga saves his partner again, of course, from another submission after Jado and Gato were sent back by Doki in his metal pipe. They hit Guerrilla Warfare and the Powerbomb Netbreaker, which is crazy that Zack Jr. was able to kick out of one and Taguchi saving him for another. So there's a lot of false finishers on this. Then the coolest thing is that Zack Sabre Jr. takes a diving headbutt on this flog splash, and he still kicks out at 2. So Zack Sabre Jr. has taken 3 tag team basically finishers and still kicked out. As God was going for the Super Power Bomb, which is their like final finisher, Zack Sabre Jr. was able to turn that into a Frankensteiner. Taichi takes both GOD members out. And Zack was able, Taichi sets up Tungaloa for a punt kick and a Black Mephisto. And right when he hits Black Mephisto on Tungaloa, he's Tama Tonga tries for a gun stun, which is if you guys don't know, an RKO on Zack, but he gets a rear naked a choke. He somewhat chokes him out, not enough for them to submit, but they do the Holy Zack, and that was it. So the Holy Zack driver is basically the Michinoku driver with with a power driver in the end, with power drive combination. Oh no, Michinoku driver with a super kick while he's going down. So it's just looks nasty. And of course, you get the 1-2-3, and the champions. You have new champions. Suzuki-gun gets to walk away with the new heavyweight tag team championship. And after that, they allow Miho Abe to hold both the title belts as they all three of them walk off to the back as the champions. Really good match, and it's always weird to see the Techers be the good guys. But it's pretty good when Zack Sabre Jr. works face because he can do it. I don't think he likes doing it, but he can do it. And Taichi's he's a really good story right now. With Miho Abe coming back, it was really nice to see the whole team back together. All right, night 2 it opens up with Bullet Club versus Taguchi Japan, but without Taguchi. So you have Evil, LIP, Taiji Ishimori, and Chase Owens versus Tanahashi, Hanma, Yuma Yura, and Yota Tsuji. So this is super simple. Like Young Lions get a lot of good work against Evil with doing double team moves, and they get a lot of time to themselves. Hanma even does a diving headbutt on, I believe it was Chase Owens, while Tanahashi had him in the Texas Cloverleaf. Of course, in the end, you hit Bloody Cross after a planned knee combo. So it's 2 knees to the face by LIP and... Oh, no, sorry. It's a Bloody Cross after Taichi Mori hits open palm strikes into a knee combo. And it was super simple, super quick. Nothing from this. It was more Sho Tanahashi for the fans. I fully believe this is Sho Tanahashi to the fans. You get to see the Young Lions again. And you gotta show Bullet Club because there's not a lot of Bullet Club stuff in this show. On the second, you got Taguchi with Sho and Yo, and if you guys don't know, Rocky Romero is in America, so this is why with the change of Roppongi 3K, it's really cool to see the old coach work with Sho and Yo, and they go against Desperado, Doki, and Kadamaru. And Doki's a champion for this. He does a lot of weird things. If you didn't look at our media post, go look. We posted a video of what he was doing. I won't say what he did. We have Sho and Yo and Taguchi attack before the bell. Sho and Desperado open the match, and it's a little bit better than what they did the night before. So they're getting a lot of their ring runs out the way first, and I fully believe this match, Yo versus Desperado on June 7th, is going to be amazing. Yo hits the calf crusher on Doki, and boom. Oh, game, done, match. We're out of here. The quickest match of the night is we have, let's see, it's GOD and Gato versus the Techers and Suzuki, and Minoru Suzuki. And this was a quick match. It ended with Zack Sabre Jr. doing a combination armbar choke to Gato and him giving up. I think it was literally like 5-ish minutes. Like it was quick. They didn't do anything with this match. We have Master Watso and Ibushi versus the Great Khan and Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb went for a Kamagoye on Ibushi. That was a really good spot, and he was able to turn that into a Hurricanrana. Of course, basically, when Ibushi was not in the match, it was not good for that tag team. Master Watson kind of got his butt whooped by Khan and Jeff Cobb. And basically, Cobb basically deadlifts Master Watso from a gut wrench, no, from a gut wrench slam over, then holds Ibushi down as the Great Okan deadlifts Master Watso into the domination, and Kaba and that was a quick 1-2-3. This night was very quick with all their matches, and because the trios match was amazing. Cobb and Ibushi had to be separated there 3 times because they attacked each other 3 times after this match. It is insane. It was like, all right, what is going on? But they're building up heat. They do have a match against each other, and it's weird that Ibushi didn't get a chance to go after the title. They chose Shingo and Okada, but Ibushi got his hands full right now with Jeff Cobb, and it's going to be a good match. Watsu had a really okay showing after not seeing him for a while, but the Great Okan he's amazing. I love him. And we have the main event, of course, the 6-man Never Openweight Championships versus LIJ, Naito Sonata, Ibushi versus Goto, Ishii, and Yoshihashi. Of course, LIJ comes out fully dressed in their championship attire. Naito comes out in his suit. Sonata comes out in his mirrored, weird, like really cool looking outfit. I don't know how to explain it. It looks amazing. And Ibushi comes out in his red and black gear and multiple masks. The beginning of the match, Ishii calls on Naito, and Naito just messes around with him. He would just walk in and out. As Naruto just keep playing with him, Goto just like tells Ishii to come back, and Goto and Sonata start. Naito teases Ishii by tagging Ibushi in. So there's a point where Ishii gets tagged in, and Sonata tags Naito. And instead of Naito walking and staring at Ishii, he just tags in Ibushi. Then Ibushi tags in Naito. Then Naito tags in Ibushi. It's funny as hell. Ibushi, of course, gets tagged in. He gets beat up by Ishii very easily. But Naito does a smart thing and tries to come in and attack Ishii. And basically, Ishii pushes him to the corner and gets chopped down. And it seemed hella funny because it seemed like it was a work because Ibushi and Sonata literally tried to grab Ishii, and Ishii just kept chopping him still. It's like, what are you doing? We had a triple. Chaos was able to do a triple PK on Bushi. And man, Yoshihashi, it's amazing what he can do now. I fully believe in the last 2 years he's gotten so much better with his wrestling and his selling and his ring work, man. But his chops that day was rough. Like, it sounded nasty. It just sounded super nasty. It's like Ibushi was just like going backwards with those chops. And of course, Naito was able to gain back advantage for his team with a kick to the back to Yoshihashi and a hangman over the top rope. Naito and Ishii brawl on the outside, and this was amazing because Ishii just goes after Naito, and the camera's on them, and they're not the legal men. They just basically watching Naito and Ishii just try to kill each other outside. Of course, Naito is found a way to choke Ishii with the rail. Basically have a headlock onto the rail, and Naito's kind of screaming, give up, and after a while, he just leaves him there. So Ishii's on the outside, just all hurt. Ishii takes out all of LIJ in a hot tag. It was amazing because it's like he used everyone's momentum against each other. He pushes Sonata into Ibushi. He pushes Sonata into Naito. He clotheslines Sonata, and then he basically clotheslines Naito. It was dope. Like, this is why I love the 6-man Never Openweight Championship, because of moments like this. Like, one man just goes on a rampage. But my review does not give the justice of what LIJ can do in a 6-man tag team. It is smooth what they can do. Let's see. Slap Snyder into the ground. Yeah, and he just kept doing that. And Ishii just had something out for Naito, and I guess Ishii just didn't really like the disrespect that Naito was doing. Naito trades forearms with Ishii. Ishii wins with one, and he threw like one, but Yeah, Ishii won the battle, but he threw like 8 less forearms than Naito. It's funny when Naito tries to go basically strong style against Ishii and doesn't win, but when he uses his speed, it shows he has pure advantage. Goto was put in the Paradise Lock by Sonata. We have the Paradise Lock. We have the Russian leg sweep blockbuster against Ibushi, and Bushi kicked out, which was really cool. We had a super kick into Yushigoroshi to a pun kick, and Bushi still kicks out. So Bushi was in this match mostly. They really wanted to really put Bushi in front, and it didn't. Man, he definitely did everything he could. Bushi was able to actually get a code breaker at his finisher, the X Factor, which is a second row code breaker, and Goto was able to interrupt the pin on Yoshihashi. The great thing was this was really cool. I've seen this only once. Bushi does a backslide with the bridge and gets a 2 count on Yoshihashi, and it was a very close 2 count because Naito was in camera, and the referee Yoichi's instantly I was like, no, it's only two, it's only two. I was like, oh, okay. And in the end, Yoshihashi puts Bushi in a submission with a combination Kimura lock, so it's like a double underhook where he's holding both your arms and puts the one arm in a Kimura, and Sonata and Naito are trying everything they can to break out the submission because Bushi's been in the match mostly the whole night. Naito is put in the knee bar as he gets into the ring by Ishii, and Sonata is put in the rear naked choke by Goto, and that is your ending. You have retaining champs of Chaos of Ishii, Goto, and Yoshihashi, and this was amazing. Like I said, there's 6 matches. I know, at least in New Japan, my experience, have been amazing because when you have a team that really knows how to work together, it's smooth. You have Sonata, Goto, and Yoshihashi really, really good on their single stuff, and of course Lij with Sonata and Naito. But man, when Lij is rolling, the stuff they do is so amazing. There's a lot of parts in this match that are super chaotic. I believe there was a point where Goto and Ishii had Sonata and Naito in the fireman's carry, and they were gonna run past each other and do I believe a fireman's carry slam, but they were able to get off and they were pushed into each other. Like I said, I fully believe my review does not give this match justice. You have to go watch this match. It is a really good match. Please go watch it. And of course, support us on Patreon on IHJW Wrestling on Patreon. We have a GoFundMe soon for a couch we need so we can do actually in-house reviews on the same day because we don't have a couch, unfortunately. And of course, guys, we'll catch you on the other side.